Geobyte.
Hello students, welcome to the Geobyte. In this video also, let us discuss some more important problems on torsion of shafts. These are all the problems which were given in different competitive exams. These are all equally important problems for the students who are preparing for both RRB JE and SSC JE. Look at the very first problem. The very first problem is a solid circular shaft of 60 mm diameter transmits a torque of 1600 Newton meter. The value of maximum shear stress developed is, it is given that the diameter of the shaft equal to 60 mm, torque T equal to 1600 Newton meter. You convert it into Newton mm, 1600 into 10 raised to 3 Newton mm. As we know, torque T equal to pi by 16 into shear stress into d cube. From this, the shear stress tau equal to 16T by pi d cube. It is equal to 16 into T, 1600 into 10 power 3 divided by pi into d is 60 whole cube. You simplify this value for getting approximately 37.725. The units is Newton per mm square. That is the shear stress developed in the shaft. Look at the answer, 37.725. 37.725. Look at the option A. Option A is absolutely correct. Option A is absolutely correct. Let us go for the next problem. Look at the second problem. The maximum shear stress developed on the surface of the solid circular shaft under a pure torsion is 240 megapascal. If the shaft diameter is doubled, then the maximum shear stress developed corresponding to same torque will be. It is given like this. The shear stress tau equal to the shear stress tau equal to 240 megapascal when shaft dia equal to, let it be d. If the shaft diameter is doubled, if the d dash becomes 2d, the diameter of the shaft is becoming doubled, the maximum shear stress developed corresponding to the same torque will be. That means torque remains constant. New shear stress, the tau dash equal to how much? It can be decided like this. As you know, torque T equal to pi by 16 into tau into d cube. From this, the shear stress tau equal to 16T by pi d cube. Shear stress given is 240 megapascal. Okay. So anyhow, 16T by pi d cube equal to 240 megapascal. Now, new shear stress tau dash equal to 16T by pi d dash cube. Tau dash equal to 16t by, here torque remains same, pi into d dash given 2d whole cube. 2d whole cube. It is equal to 16t by 8 into pi into d cube. Tau dash equal to 1 by 8 times the 16t by pi d cube. Look at the value of 16t by pi d cube. 16t by pi d cube equal to 240. In place of the 16t by pi d cube, let me write the 240. Therefore, new shear stress equal to 1 by 8 times the 240. Simplify this value. Tau dash equal to 830 times. So 30 megapascal. That is the shear stress developed in the shaft when the diameter of the shaft is doubled for the same torque transmission capacity. Look at the options. Option A 120 megapascal, no. B 60, no. C, right, 30 megapascal, absolutely correct. Option C is absolutely correct. Let us go for the next problem. Look at the third problem. Consider the following statements. Maximum shear stress induced in a power transmitting shaft is option first statement directly proportional to the torque being transmitted. Second statement inversely proportional to the cube of its diameter. Third statement directly proportional to polar moment of inertia. It is like this. You know torque T equal to pi by 16 into tau into d cube. From this the shear stress tau equal to 16t by pi d cube. From this I can conclude that the shear stress is directly proportional to the torque and shear stress is inversely proportional to the cube of diameter. So shear stress is directly proportional to the torque and shear stress is inversely proportional to cubic power of diameter. Now look at the statements. First statement directly proportional to the torque being transmitted, absolutely correct. Inversely proportional to the cube of its diameter, that is also correct. Directly proportional to polar moment of inertia, not correct. First statement and second statement are correct. Therefore, option D is absolutely correct. I hope you understood. Let us go for the next problem. Look at the fourth problem. Maximum shear stress developed on the surface of solid circular shaft under a pure torsion is 640 megapascal. If the shaft diameter is doubled, then what is the maximum shear stress developed corresponding to the same torque? It is like this. The shear stress developed is given 640 megapascal at shaft diameter equal to, let it be d. If the shaft diameter is doubled, if d dash equal to 2d, what is the new shear stress? It is given for the same torque. the torque in the first case equal to torque in the second case. Now the first case, torque T equal to pi by 16 into tau into d cube. From this the shear stress equal to 16T by pi d cube. The shear stress given when shaft diameter is d 640 megapascal. 640 megapascal. It is almost the similar problem of that first problem. Okay, the 16T by pi d cube equal to 640. Okay, then new shear stress tau dash equal to, I can say 16T dash by pi d dash cube. It is equal to 16 into T dash equal to T only, T by pi into D dash equal to 2D whole cube. It is equal to 1 by 8 times the 16T by pi d cube. But given 16T by pi d cube is given 640 divided by 8 times equal to 80 megapascal. When the shaft diameter is doubled, the new shear stress tau dash equal to 80 megapascal. I hope all of you understood. Look at the options. Look at the option D, 80 megapascal, absolutely correct. I hope you understood. Let us move to the another problem. Look at the fifth problem. The diameter of the shaft is increased from 30 mm to 60 mm. All other conditions remaining unchanged. How many times is its torque carrying capacity increased? When the diameter is increasing from 30 mm to 60 mm, how the torque will be affected? All other conditions remaining unchanged. All other conditions remaining unchanged. That means the shear stress remains constant. Torque T equal to pi by 16 into tau into d cube. From this I can say that here pi by 16 into tau remains constant. It can be written as T equal to a constant k. Here k equal to pi by 16 into tau. Since tau is constant, pi by 16 into tau is taken as constant into d cube. Therefore, torque is proportional to d cube. Since the torque is proportional to d cube, torque by d cube is equal to constant, or T1 by d1 cube equal to T2 by d2 cube. From this T1 by T2 equal to d1 by d2 power 3. Here d1 is given 30 mm and d2 is given 60 mm. 30 divided by 60 whole cube. Therefore T1 by T2 equal to 1 by 2 whole power 3. It is equal to 1 by 8. That is the answer. T1 by T2 equal to 1 by 8. Since he is asking how the torque will be affected, I can write that the T2 by T1 is equal to 8. the final torque equal to 8 times the T1. Final torque T2 equal to 8 times the T1. That means when the diameter is increasing from 30 mm to 60 mm, the torque transmission capacity is increased by 8 times. 8 times. Look at the options. 2 times not correct. 4 times also not correct. 8 times absolutely correct. Option C is absolutely correct. I hope you're all following. Let us go for the another problem. Look at the problem. While transmitting the same power by a shaft, if its speed is doubled, the n dash is equal to twice the n. That means initial speed of the shaft. Initial speed of shaft is equal to n. Final speed of the shaft is equal to n dash, that is equal to twice the n. That is the condition which is given. What should be its new diameter if the maximum shear stress induced in the shaft remains same? If the shear stress remains same, what will be the what should be the new diameter? New diameter may be d dash. D dash is how much? That's what he is asking. Since it is given in terms of original diameter, d dash may be in terms of d. When the shaft speed is n, diameter may be d. When the shaft speed is n dash, diameter may be d dash. This d dash is how much in terms of diameter of the original diameter of the shaft. That is the problem. Here it is given that the same power means power in the first case equal to power in the next case. As you know, power P equal to 2 pi nt by 60. Since power remains constant, from this I can write the product of n and t equal to 60p by 2 pi. Since power remains constant, it can be written as a constant. Since n and t remains constant, then I can say n and t product equal to n dash t dash. n into t, original torque is torque t equal to pi by 16 into tau into t cube. Pi by 16 into tau into d cube is equal to n dash equal to twice the n into pi by 16 into tau dash into d dash cube. What about the shear stress? If the maximum shear stress induced in the shaft remains same, the shear stress tau remains constant. That means I can say that tau equal to tau dash. Tau and tau dash both are identical. Then this pi by 16 is cancelled. Tau is also cancelled. N is also remained cancelled. Finally, d cube equal to twice the d dash cube. This is 1 minute. This is d dash cube. Twice the d dash cube. From this I can say that d dash cube is equal to d cube by 2, d cube by 2, or d dash equal to d by 2 power 1 by 3. So this is the answer. D dash equal to d by 2 power 1 by 3. It is equal to 1 by 3 root under 2 into original diameter d. That is the answer. Look at the options. Look at the options. Look at the last option. 1 by 2 power 1 by 3 times the original diameter. Therefore, option D is absolutely correct. Option D is correct. I hope all of you understood. This kind of problem is very important. Of course, all these problems are equally important. Let us go for the another problem. Next problem is, for a power transmission of shaft transmitting a power P at n rpm, its diameter is proportional to. Is asking diameter of the shaft in terms of power and speed. My dear friends, as you know, power P equal to 2 pi nt by 60, but torque equal to pi by 16 into tau into d cube. Here the torque can be written as torque is proportional to d cube, because nothing is spoken regarding the shear stress. I am assuming shear stress remains constant. So from this, the power P is proportional to N and T. Power P is proportional to N, T is proportional to D cube. T is proportional to D cube. From this, D cube is proportional to power by N. Therefore, D is proportional to power by N whole power 1 by 3. That is the diameter of the shaft in terms of power and speed. I hope you understood. Now look at the options. Look at the option A, P by N whole power 1 by 3. P by N whole power 1 by 3. Therefore, option A is absolutely correct. Let us move to the one more problem. Right. Look at the next problem. A shaft can safely transmit 90 kilowatt while rotating at a given speed n. In the case 1, the power equal to power P equal to 90 kilowatts. It is speed equal to n. Okay. If this shaft is replaced by a shaft of diameter double the previous one, the initial diameter equal to d, final diameter means second case d dash equal to twice the original diameter double the previous one, and rotated at half speed of the previous one. Final speed equal to n dash equal to half the original speed. Half the original speed. The power that can be transmitted by the new shaft. Power transmitted by the new shaft. Final power that may be P dash. What is the value of P dash? As you know, power P equal to 2 pi nt by 60 and torque T equal to pi by 16 into tau into pi by 16 into tau into d cube. Nothing is spoken regarding the shear stress. That's why let us treat shear stress remains constant. Shear stress remains constant. If the shear stress is constant, I can say that torque is proportional to d cube. Then power P is proportional to N and T. Power P is proportional to N, but T is proportional to, torque is proportional to d cube. Then I can say that P by N d cube remains constant. P by N d cube remains constant means P by N d cube must be equal to P dash by N dash d dash cube. Here original power is how much it is given, 90 kilowatt. Original power is 90 kilowatt. 90 divided by N into d cube is equal to P dash by N dash. Look at the N dash value. N dash equal to half of the N. N dash equal to half of the N. N by 2. Okay. D dash. Here D dash equal to twice the D. D dash equal to twice the D. Let us go back. Here D dash equal to twice the diameter. Okay. So 2D whole cube. Now simplify it. 90 by N d cube is equal to, this 2 goes up, 2 times the P dash divided by N into 8 into d cube. This N d cube cancelled. P dash equal to 90 into 8 by 2 to 4 times. 90 into 4, 360 kilowatts. The power transmitted by the shaft is 3 kilowatts when the speed is doubled, when the speed is halved and the diameter is doubled. Look at the options. Look at the third option, 360 kilowatts. Option C is absolutely correct. 360 kilowatts. I hope you understood. Let us go for the one more problem. Look at the problem. The equivalent bending moment under combined action of bending moment and torque is. The equivalent bending moment according to normal stress theory or Rankine theory, half into m plus root over m square plus t square. This is the equivalent bending moment formula. ME equal to half into m plus root over m square plus t square. Therefore option B, look at the option B. Option B is absolutely correct. Option B is absolutely correct. Let us go for the another problem. Look at the Next problem. A member subjected to combined action of bending moment and torque, what respectively are the equivalent bending moment and equivalent torque? The torque given is 300 Newton meter. Bending moment given is 400 Newton meter. Then equivalent torque equal to root under m square plus t square. It is equal to root under 300 square plus 400 square. The equivalent torque equal to 500 Newton meter. That is the equivalent torque. Whereas equivalent bending moment ME equal to half into m plus root over m square plus t square. It is equal to half into m plus root over m square plus t square. I can write as equivalent torque. ME equal to half into bending moment is 400 plus equivalent torque is 500. 500 plus 400 900 divided by 2 450 Newton meter. The equivalent bending moment equal to 450 Newton meter. That is the equivalent bending moment. Anyhow, equivalent torque is 500 Newton meter, whereas equivalent bending moment is equal to 450 Newton meter. I hope you understood. But he is asking the order is equivalent bending moment first, equivalent torque is next. Look at the question. What respectively are the equivalent bending moment and equivalent torque? Equivalent bending moment is 450, equivalent torque is 500 Newton meter. Therefore, option A is absolutely correct. Let us move to the another problem. Let us read the next problem. A solid shaft of diameter d carries a twisting moment that develops maximum shear stress tau. For the solid shaft, diameter equal to d and torque equal to T. Shear stress equal to tau. If the shaft is replaced by hollow one of outside diameter d and inside diameter d by 2, the solid shaft is replaced by hollow shaft. For the hollow shaft, outer dia equal to d, inner dia equal to d by 2. Then the maximum shear stress developed will be, what is the shear stress developed in the hollow shaft in terms of shear stress developed in the solid shaft. Shear stress developed in the solid shaft is tau. In terms of solid shaft shear stress, you are asked to decide hollow shaft shear stress. The torsion equation is T by J equal to T by J equal to tau by R. Tau by R. From this, T equal to shear stress into J by R. This is equal to tau into J by R equal to Zp. The Zp, the torque T equal to shear stress times the polar section modulus Zp. Zp for the solid shaft is pi by 16 into d cube. This is for solid shaft. Zp for hollow shaft equal to pi by 16 into capital D power 4 minus small d power 4 by capital D. This is for hollow shaft. That is for hollow shaft. Now the torque remains same here. This torque remains same for both cases. Then I can say that the shear stress multiplied by Zp remains constant. Shear stress for solid shaft is tau. Zp for solid shaft pi by 16 into d cube is equal to shear stress for hollow shaft, let it be tau dash or tau suffix h into pi by 16 into capital D power 4 minus inner diameter is d by 2 power 4 by capital D. Here inner diameter of the hollow shaft equal to d by 2, that is given in the problem. Now let us simplify it. This pi by 16 cancelled. Tau into d cube equal to tau for the hollow shaft. Let me write the d power 4 outside. 1 minus 1 by 2 power 4 divided by d. Tau into d cube is equal to tau for the hollow shaft into d cube. This t is cancelled into 1 minus 1 by 16. Of course, d cube also cancelled. Tau for the solid shaft equal to tau for the hollow shaft into 16 minus 1 by 16. It is equal to tau for the hollow shaft into 15 by 16. So tau for the solid shaft equal to 15 by 16 times the tau for the hollow shaft. Therefore, tau for the hollow shaft equal to 16 by 15 times the tau for the solid shaft. This is 16 by 15. After simplification, you are getting 1.067 times the stress in the solid shaft. So, stress in the hollow shaft equal to 1.067 times the stress in the solid shaft. That is the answer. Look at the options. Look at the very first option, 1.067 times the stress in the solid shaft. Therefore, option A is absolutely correct. I hope all of you understood this problem also. Very, very important problem. Let us move to the one more problem. Let us read the next problem. The shear stress at a point in the shaft is subjected to a torque is option A directly proportional to polar moment of inertia and to the distance of the point from the axis. B directly proportional to applied torque and inversely proportional to polar moment of inertia. C. Directly proportional to applied torque and polar moment of inertia. Option D. Inversely proportional to applied torque and polar moment of inertia. As you know, the torsion equation is T by J equal to G theta by L equal to tau by R. From this, the first and last relation T by J equal to tau by R. From this, the shear stress tau equal to R into T by J. T by J. T by J at a particular point, R remains constant. Therefore, shear stress is proportional to torque and shear stress is inversely proportional to polar moment of inertia. So, shear stress is proportional to torque and shear stress is inversely proportional to polar moment of inertia. Therefore, the options are, look at the option B. The shear stress is directly proportional to the applied torque and inversely proportional to polar moment of inertia. Therefore, option B is absolutely correct. I hope you understood. Let us move to the one more problem. Look at the next problem. If two shafts of same length, one of which is hollow, transmits equal torque. Equal torque means torque in the solid shaft equal to torque in the hollow shaft, and have equal maximum stress. Shear stress in the solid shaft equal to shear stress in the hollow shaft. Then they should be having equal. As you know, T by J equal to tau by R. That is the torsion equation. From this, T equal to shear stress into J by R. J by R. Here shear stress remains same. Shear stress remains same. Torque is also remains same. Then I can say T by tau equal to J by R. The quantity J by R is called polar section modulus ZP. Since torque for the hollow shaft equal to torque for the solid shaft, it is remaining constant T equal to constant. Similarly, shear stress for the hollow shaft equal to shear stress for the solid shaft equal to shear stress, that is remaining constant. Since T constant, tau constant, I can say that T by tau equal to constant. Then ZP equal to constant. What is the ZP? Polar section modulus. Therefore, polar section modulus for solid shaft must be equal to polar section modulus for the hollow shaft. Look at the options. Polar moment of inertia, no. Polar modulus of section, yes. Polar section modulus, option B is absolutely correct. Option B is absolutely correct. Let us move to the one more problem. Look at the next problem. Two steel shafts, one solid shaft and other one hollow shaft. Since the both are steel shafts, the modulus modulus of rigidity for solid shaft equal to modulus of rigidity or shear modulus for the hollow shaft. It is given two steel shafts. Since modulus of rigidity is the material constant, both shafts are made with the same material, therefore the shear modulus for the hollow shaft and shear modulus for the solid shaft remains constant. Okay. Hollow shaft outer diameter is d and inner diameter is d by 2. For for hollow shaft. Outer diameter is d, inner diameter equal to d by 2. Okay. Are twisted to the same angle of twist per unit length. That means the angular twist for the solid shaft equal to angular twist for the hollow shaft. Generally, angular twist is measured in terms of per unit length. Therefore, length of the solid shaft equal to length of the hollow shaft. Okay. The ratio of maximum shear stress in the solid shaft to that in the hollow shaft. Shear stress in the solid shaft divided by shear stress in the hollow shaft is equal to how much? That is the problem. Dear friends, the torsion equation is T by J equal to tau by R is equal to G theta by L. From this, let us take this part. Tau by R equal to G theta by L, or shear stress tau equal to G theta R by L. Then shear stress in the solid shaft by shear stress in the hollow shaft equal to GS theta S RS by LS into LH by G for hollow shaft into theta for hollow shaft into radius for the hollow shaft. Radius for the hollow shaft equal to d by 2. Radius of the solid shaft also equal to d by 2. Therefore, R for hollow shaft, R for solid shaft cancelled. Length of the hollow shaft equal length of the solid shaft. Shear modulus for hollow shaft equal shear modulus for solid shaft. Angle of twist remains same. Everything is cancelled. Therefore, the stress developed in the solid shaft divided by stress developed in the hollow shaft is equal to 1. Therefore, stress developed in the solid shaft and stress developed in the hollow shaft both are identical. Look at the options. The ratio of shear stress in the solid shaft to that in the hollow shaft is equal to 1. The ratio of shear stress in solid shaft to that in the hollow shaft. Shear stress in the solid shaft equal to shear stress in the hollow shaft. Right. Therefore, I can select the option D. Shear stress in the solid shaft and shear stress in the hollow shaft both are identical. I hope you clearly understood. Since it is given the ratio of maximum shear stress in the solid shaft and shear stress in the hollow shaft, the answer might be 1. Because shear stress in the solid shaft by shear stress in the hollow shaft equal to 1. The answer might be printing mistake. Answer might be 1. I hope all of you understood. Let us go for the one more problem. Look at the problem. A circular shaft fixed at A has diameter for half its length and diameter d by 2 over the remaining half. Let us assume this is the section 1, this is the section 2. Look at the lengths L1 equal to L2. Diameter for the first section equal to d by 2. Diameter for the second section equal to d. Okay. What is the rotation of C with respect to B? That means theta 2, theta 1 equal to how much? if the rotation of B relative to A is, that is theta 2 equal to 0.1 radians. Now here both may be made with same material, both sections. Then I can treat G1 equal to G2, L1 equal to L2. The arrangement is series. For the series arrangement, T1 equal to T2. The torsion equation is T by J equal to G theta by L. From this angle of twist, theta equal to TL by JG. Since T constant, L constant, G constant, I can say that this theta equal to a constant by J, or theta into J equal to constant. It means theta 1 J1 equal to theta 2 into J2. Theta 1 by, otherwise, okay, theta 1 by theta 2 equal to J2 by J1. As you know, polar moment of inertia J equal to pi by 32 into d power 4. Then J2 equal to pi by 32 into d2 power 4 divided by pi by 32 into d1 power 4. Pi by 32 cancel. Theta 1 by theta 2 equal to d2 power 4 by d1 power 4. Here d2 equal to, look at the diagram, d2 equal to d, d1 equal d by 2. d2 equal to d, d1 equal to d by 2. So theta 1 by theta 2 equal to d2 d power 4 by d by 2 whole power 4. It is equal to d by 4 by d by 4 power 2 power 4 equal to 16. These two are cancelled. Finally it is equal to 16. Then theta 1 by theta 2 equal to 16. But theta 2 given, I think. Let us look the theta 2. Okay. Theta 2 is given 0.1 radians. Theta 2 is given 0.1 radians. Theta 1 by 0.1 is equal to 16. Therefore, theta 1 equal to 1.26 radians. Option theta 1 equal to 1.6 radians. Look at the options. Option A 0.4 radians. This is not correct. 0.8 is not correct. 1.6 is absolutely correct. Option C is absolutely correct. Therefore, 1.6 is the correct option. Let us go for the another problem. Look at the last problem. A steel shaft and brass shaft have the same length. That means length of the steel shaft equal to length of the brass shaft. Okay. And diameters are connected. Diameters are connected means diameter of the steel shaft equal to diameter of the brass shaft. By a flange coupling, the assembly is rigidly held at its ends and is twisted by a torque through the coupling. Twisted by the torque means the angle of twist for the solid shaft equal to angle of twist for the brass shaft. Okay. Modulus of rigidity of steel is twice that of brass. Modulus of rigidity for the steel is 2 times that of the brass. Okay. If the Torque in the steel shaft is 500 Newton meter. Torque in the steel shaft is 500 Newton meter. Then the value of the torque in the brass shaft will be, the value of the torque in the brass shaft is how much? Now the torsion equation is T by J equal to G theta by L. Of course equal to tau by R. Take the first two relations. T by J equal to G theta by L. From this the angle of twist theta equal to TL by JG. Since the theta for the solid steel shaft equal to theta for the brass shaft, I can say that TS LS by JS GS is equal to TB TBLB by JB. Here given length of the steel shaft and length of the brass shaft both are equal. These two are cancelled. Diameter of the J equal to pi by 32 into d power 4. Since the diameter of the steel shaft equal to diameter of the brass shaft, polar moment of inertia for the steel shaft equal to polar moment of inertia for the brass shaft. These two are cancelled. Finally, you are getting TS by GS equal to TB by GB. TS is given 500 Newton meter by GS divided by TB by GB. Of course GS, एक minute, this GS is given, look at the value, the GS is twice the GB divided by GB. This GB cancel. Finally TB equal to the torque transmission capacity of the brass shaft equal to 250 Newton meter. I hope all of you understood. The torque transmission capacity of the brass shaft is half of the steel shaft, that is 250 Newton meter. Look at the options. 250, the very first option is correct. Option A is absolutely correct. I hope all of you understood, my dear friends. With this, I am concluding this video. In the next video, I will come with some more important problems. Thank you. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Geobyte.